Hi, Ronald. Thank you so much for joining us, first of all, and thank you so much for making the time. It's so good to see you after so long. And we'll quickly just get into the conversation. Just to kick things off, I would request you to tell us a little about yourself first, and we'll take the conversation from there then.
Thank you so much, Tanya, for having me here. I'm Roland. I'm the director for the India Delivery Center at Strategy. Been with the company for 6 years. I manage multiple portfolios here, right from engineering to cloud operations to the services business.
So, Roland, before we get into anything, I would want to know a little about your profile in itself, right? Like you mentioned, you've kickstarted quite a lot of things. You're also responsible for a lot of operations that are happening within India as well as outside as well. So, could you throw a little more light as to what is the scope of the work that you do?
So, in terms of my scope, Tanya, as I said, I I just started off with a small team of a consulting services out of India. Then I sort of grew my horizon, grew my portfolio into engineering. Now, as a part of my work, I have to deal with multiple stakeholders internally, right from executives to team members. I also work with a lot of our customers, being on licenses, deals, negotiations. I handle a lot of real estate portfolio of Strategy India. So if I look at the horizon, it's not being just limited to working with internal people, but it's been cross-cultural in Argentina, China, Japan, Singapore, Europe. So dealing with stakeholders from there, and obviously the bigger part was dealing with the executives because I need to report into them every now and then.
So, why don't you tell me firstly a little about what led you to look out for a program in the first place?
Yeah, actually, that's a very interesting question, Tanya. So I've heard. So I was a part of this program that my company was sponsoring me for my education at John Hopkins, and I started there. And it was top 20 leaders in our organization that were a part of that training at John Hopkins. My first session there, I saw how global leaders operated, and I had just stepped into the leadership role maybe a year, 2 years back. And then I felt there was something that I was lacking. And in terms of lacking, I will say that lack of confidence. I believe, I wouldn't say it's a cultural thing, but for me, it was that if I started working with global teams, I used to feel a bit timid, right? Because these are global leaders, from Europe, from US, and you get that exposure. But when they spoke with confidence, they spoke with clarity. They always added a sense of humor. I've been on multiple sessions with them, multiple deal like negotiations, and I knew that they would navigate certain situations and get the best deal out of for the company itself. I felt I was lacking in those areas. And that's where I felt that there is a need for me to look for a program that would help me enhance those skills. And that's how I landed up at Capable.
In that entire situation where you're around these global leaders, you're getting into these conversations, you're getting the exposure as well, how did that make you feel in that moment? So, walk me through how you've seen yourself change, what have been the shifts that you've been able to notice about yourself with you perceiving yourself and the situations around you.
I've seen a very interesting change in myself, and it's not just me; it's my leaders that have also seen it. Earlier, what I used to do is I used to just rush into things, rush into my chain of thought. I was losing grip when I was presenting. I was just going deviating out of topic. What Capable helped me do is to synchronize that. Yes, I had good ideas, but I was not able to present it. That's the feedback that I got from my executives as well. That you know what to do is just not coming out the way it should be. Uh, when I went through the entire journey at Capable, and I know we're going to be talking about it, post that, I was able to have that refinement of my ideas and put it in a way that people understand. Few of the things that I inculcated as a part of my journey at Capable was linking thoughts. There is a session that we had for like mind maps, where literally it helped me go through the chain of thought and then present something. Whenever I'm in an executive meeting, earlier I used to rush in a lot with my ideas. We should do one, two, three, four, and they were like, yes, but how do you do that, right? There was no clarity of thought. Post Capable, you have that. I got in the sense that, okay, that I can take a stance back, pause for a while, share my thoughts, share my ideas, and give a reasoning so that they could connect to what I'm trying to say. Look at the bigger picture and just not narrowing down to what I want to emphasize. What I've also learned as a part of my capable journey is you're not the only one who's going to be riding some of these conversations. Sometimes you have to take a step back, listen to what the other person is trying to say, and then frame your scenarios uh, based on what the outcome is something that you want. So that has helped me. So before capable, rushing into things, no chain of thought, no ideas. After capable, I was literally able to streamline my conversations with the leadership as well as with my team. And the learnings that capable has shared has really helped me from where I was initially, like in the month of January, February, to where I am today.
Lovely. That is so good to know. According to your perspective, what do you think? How important is the viability of the idea and the actual presentation of that idea as well?
I will say, Tanya, both go hand in hand. You might have a great idea, but if you're not able to pitch it to the leaders or the people who are going to be investing into that idea, there's no point of having a great idea. But again, if you have a bad idea and if you're able to present it in a way that the leaders understand, they might sort of take a chance with it. So at the end of the day, I feel it's all boils down to the presentation that you put in. Obviously, the idea should have merit, but the way you present it make a lot of difference. And I'll give you a small example to it. We were starting a new team out of India. And the first conversation that I had with my leadership, this was around January. The idea was outrightly rejected because I was like, okay, I'm going to do this 10 different things together, and we're going to create an impact. And doing this, this is how much we're going to do in terms of numbers, how it's going to impact the global operations, etc. The same conversation put in a better way in the month of June, I got an approval for the same thing.
Oh, that's lovely.
Two different time frames, sharing the same idea in a different presentation, in a different environment, really helped me to get the funding that I needed for my projects. So having that presentation piece really helps, but I also feel that your idea should definitely have some merit. Yeah, it's going to go away.
Of course. But that's great, and that's so good to know about like the tangible shifts also and the tangible outcomes that you've been able to see all throughout this entire journey as well. Within all of this, right, there's always a shift that you're able to feel within yourself. Of course, you're able to see it manifesting through the way that people are responding, how there are multiple different conversations that you're having. But you start also feeling a little more you in this entire process, right? So tell me, after the entire program, after the 3 months, how did you feel around everything?
If you ask me to sum it up in one word, positive.
Oh.
And it's not just because I've seen a change myself, it was the experience at Kapable. I've said this earlier when I was answering one of your questions about the one-on-one sessions. One-on-one sessions gave me a realization hit that things are not good. You need to change something. The group sessions then give you a sense on how to deal with personas and different perspectives. Then the follow-up one-on-one sessions really hit you hard to see, okay, this is what we've seen day one to where we are today. So once all these 3 sessions or the 3 months were concluded, I felt positive. I felt that I could tackle situations. I felt I could tackle personas, and I could tackle situations that I was not aware of. How simple things, having an eye contact, speaking while having an eye contact, having a solid body posture, just your expressions, they sort of tend to speak a lot. So from where I started being, I've said this, being very timid individual to who's not speaking up in a lot of executive meetings, who shies away from meeting customers, not good at the negotiation. That perspective changed, and that changed for me. I hope my colleagues have seen that. I don't know, because nobody but for me, I have changed from where I was initially to where I am today. One other thing that nobody talks about, and this is what Kapable taught me, was your voice modulation, the way you speak. Sometimes silence, taking a break, taking a pause takes you a long way. And I've seen that take into effect every day in meetings. When I pause and I look at the group, that gives me a sense of what the cohort is saying, or what my team is trying to feel. So just taking a break, taking a pause has helped. So if you ask me in one word, it's positive. um, and I think it's been a very good investment from my end into.
What are you looking at next, Roland? Now, there's been a duration when you were with Kapable. Now you've been applying it. You've also been seeing shifts within the kind of way that you're working right now. What next?
I've gotten that confidence in myself that I can stand in front of 500 people now and I can say something. I can talk about a topic. I can do a keynote. By the way, I actually did a podcast right after my Capable session. I don't know if it's on YouTube yet, uh, but
Okay.
I did that a while back, and what I also did was I presented at John Hopkins. So and the presentation was received so well that my executive texted me on WhatsApp saying that it was a really good presentation that she saw.
Oh, that's
So
lovely.
that self confidence that Capable has inflicted in me is something that I'm going to take in the upcoming months or years. But I'm also looking forward to anything that I can do with Capable in the near future.
First of all, Roland, thank you so much for sharing this entire thing so beautifully with us today. It was really, really good to just walk through and just hear about your perspective around all of these various different things. To wrap everything up, I would want to play a little game which would just be rapid fire. I'll ask you the question. You give me the answer in a word, a sentence, whatever you deem fit. And we'll just take it from there then, right?
Sure.
Okay. So the first question is, all right, if your Capable journey had to go on a giant billboard outside your office, what would you want it to say?
See the difference yourself.
All right, that's great. Okay, next question. What are the 3 skills or mindsets that you've picked up here during your journey that you know you'll carry for the rest of your life?
Perspective, self-confidence, and I think just 2 for me, specifically just 2 for me: perspective and self-confidence.
That's lovely. That's very, very great. Lovely. Okay, let's say there's somebody who's joining this program tomorrow. They're starting with the program tomorrow. What would that one piece of advice be that you'd want to give them?
I will say that usually when we look at, and this happened to me, Tanya, when I looked at the price points, I was like, okay, should I invest so much money? But if somebody has that doubt, I'm definitely going to tell them, pay that amount and see the difference yourself. It's something to try out. If you're not trying that out, I will say at some point of time I can 10x that investment that I made in Capable at some point in time. Definitely.
That's lovely, lovely, amazing. Thank you so much, Roland. Thank you so much again for making the time to talk to me today, and thank you so much for sharing your entire journey with us. It was really nice meeting you again and seeing you again. And of course, we'll stay in touch. And of course, I wish you all the very best for everything that's coming ahead as well.
Sure. Thank you so much, Tanya, for having me here.